Hola, clase. So let's start by first, let's go back. We, in chapter 8, learned the preterite and the imperfect. Now we're going to learn the uses of both of them together. We already know how to use the preterite and we already know how to use the imperfect, but let's see how we use both of them together. So, when you are telling a story or relating a past event, the action usually can be expressed in 3 different ways. The first way that we're going to see is by 2 simultaneous actions. So 2 things are happening at the same time. When 2 things are happening at the same time, obviously we're going to use the imperfect because they're in progress. So both verbs, because they are in progress, are going to be imperfect. So, you can also use the conjunctions mientras, which means while, and y, which means and. So here's an example. Él escuchaba mientras ella hablaba. So he listened while she talked. Todos bailaban y cantaban. They all danced and sang. Another way to express actions or events in the past are going to be a series of completed actions. Remember, something that has beginning and an end. What do you think? Yes, you're right. It is going to be the preterite because there is a beginning and an end to the action. Therefore, it is started and it ended. So all the verbs in that expression are going to be in the preterite form. So, for example, la señora Cisnero llevó el pastel. Llevó el pastel. She took the cake. To the table, a la mesa. Los niños cantaron las mañanitas. The children sang las mañanitas. Y después Rosita apagó las velas. Then later on, Rosita blew out the candles. So it's an action that began and it ended. La señora cortó el pastel. So the Mrs. cut the cake. Y se lo sirvió. And served a los niños. Served it to the children. So all of these actions, llevó, cantaron, pagó, cortó, and sirvió, they are all actions that began and they all ended in the preterite, in the past. Now you must be asking, okay, how do we use these 2 together? Well, it's going to be an action it's going to be an action in process, but then another action takes place while that action in process is taking place, and so it's going to have a beginning there. So both preterite and imperfect are going to be present in this expression. The imperfect, remember, is something that is in progress. The preterite is a new action in this case. So mientras terminábamos, while we finished, it's an action that is not done yet. They were still continuously finishing whatever they were doing. Las preparaciones, so while they finished the preparations, los invitados empezaron a llegar. The guests began to arrive. So while they were finishing, it's a continuous action, the preparations, the guests began to arrive. All right. So I hope this has helped you guys. Please make sure that you ask me if you have any questions. You know where to reach me. And be very careful using the preterite and the imperfect. They're very similar but very different, and sometimes it can be very easy to get confused. But remember what I told you guys. The preterite is an action that begins and it ends, and the imperfect is an action that continuously. So it's a habitual action in progress. All right. Hasta luego. Chao, clase.